City. Dame, ¿toros o no?
Hello and welcome to a beautifully sunny Algarabo on the Spanish Costa del Sol. We are bringing you one of our final matches of the season, but perhaps one of our most important as well. We are here for the FC Malaga City / SR USA College Showcase, where we have a squad of about 26, 27 players ready to show their stuff in front of all the expected college coaches in the USA. And with no further ado, we get underway. Referee intent on getting us underway quickly, and we will run through the teams because right now that is one of the most important things. But before we do that, we have a very special guest to introduce with me on co-coms today. Right to my left, looking very much taller than me, so have to say jealousy crept in a bit, but we have Chris Cousins, let's see if I can get his title right, the head of the European office of SR USA. Chris, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I may be taller, but I'm about 20 years older as well, so it equals out, right? Yeah, so thanks for having me. Should be a good day, nice and warm, or nice and cold for the camera girls. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, finish it.
So great to have Chris out here with us today. And while we're doing that, there is a text crawl rolling across your screen right now. I do not have a screen in front of me, so I will have to be filled in as to what that says. We'll bring you up. Oh, of course, it is the player pitch right now. So of course, if you are interested in any players, we do have full contact information available for every single one. And there you see it right now. Chris has gotten it up for me. So the assistant commentator coming up top. If you're interested in any players and want further information, please email the following address, office@sportsrecruitingusa.com, or text on WhatsApp, the European office. And please follow that number. That is a lot to say very, very quickly, so I think we're going to skip that one out. But please do text that number. And of course, these players are out here for you. All of these players currently unsigned and uncommitted for the upcoming 2023 season. Having watched a bunch of these guys all year, there's some great talent on display, and there is absolutely some diamonds in the rough all the way out here in Spain. So Chris, let's take your thoughts on this, because I'm sure you've done countless matches of this before. What do you see, and what do you look for in a game like this?
Yeah, well, obviously this is a different scenario because we're used to like players, our own clients. Go back. So we kind of know a little bit about everyone. So this is a bit of a weird one where we just know a couple of the guys. So for example, number 16, Paul Shaw, in the Blues. And then we've got one of our clients who's coming from France, who's not at the academy actually. He is number 17, Ambroise de Denis, playing up top. So, yeah, what we're looking for, obviously, there's players here are 2022s, 2023s, 2024s, 2025s. So there's different age groups here. So we've got a whole range of different entry requirements. So what coaches will be looking for? Some might be looking for last-minute plays for the fall. Some may be looking for future stars of their college teams. But what we're looking for, obviously, first and foremost, like good players. And then, I mean, athleticism is massive in the college game. And then, yeah, I mean, then you go further into in depth. By the way, sorry, something's happened. There we go. Good bit of play there. So what we're kind of looking for then is like their academics and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a good opportunity that Malaga have put on for the players, because some people might not work out professionally. So why not look down the college way?
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Emmanuel Navarra break down the left-hand side here, cuts inside on Luke Manier, ball across, dangerous towards the center, but it just evades the on-rushing number 15 at the back post. Who was that? That was Bonki and Nkosi on the far side, who was looking to capitalize on a great run from number 22, Emmanuel Navarra down the left. Navarra, of course, has been in and around the FC Malaga City senior setup recently. Still an unsigned talent with pace to burn, so definitely one we're going to be looking out for today. But as we saw just a few moments ago, that long ball from SR USA client Paul Shaw on the left-hand side. There's a lovely ball over the top. And I think right now we are going to get a shot. There is the number 22, Emmanuel Navarra. So a player, I believe, from Zimbabwean descent who's made some real waves coming in here. First with the FCMC under-23s and then progressing towards the senior team. So definitely one to watch out for. And then we see number 16, Paul Shaw, on the ball now. Loves to find that holding midfield role and really try to break the lines going forward. But he does very well spatially, just to pull into those pockets, and does great in possession as well. Certainly one to watch out for on the other end. And now, while we have a bit of a break in play right now, we'll go through the starting lineups, as we didn't have a chance to flash that graphic up before, as kind of a hectic start. So for the blue team right now, on left from right, playing from left to right in the blue, we have in goal number 13, Noah Fearnside, right back number 10, Luke Manier, a center back partnership of Brazilian Nicolas Souza and New Zealander Dalton Lewiston, with Jerson Maldonado rounding out the back four in the left back role. The midfield three of Pierce Norris, Mirza Virani, and Paul Shaw, who we've mentioned before, you see on the ball now. And the front three are Ambrose De Dennis, who we saw with that chance before, Rubson Moreira and Albert Manduku. On the bench we have Luca Colasso, Jonathan Camas, and David Odesanya. And then on the black team, you see number 3 there, that's Enrico Egle winning possession back. In goal we have local Spanish player Angel Trucos. Right back we have Jeremiah Sprague. There is the aforementioned Engel forming the center back partnership with Diego Campos. Adam Kayat rounds out the back four in that left back role. We have Malcolm Fiduske, Sam Robledo, and Shea Lehigh in the center of the park. And the front three are formed of Vanki Nikosi, Aitor España Rios, and Emmanuel Nevera, number 22 on the left-hand side. And here's a chance for Shaw, drives into the area, but the Spanish keeper quickly off his line to smother. And rounding out the substitutes, we have Joseph Raymond, Nick Filipovic, Essien Favor, and Peter Tobin. So that rounds out the squad now, and hopefully we're back to live pictures on the camera. We see Emmanuel Nevera again isolated against Luke Manier. Nevera tries to cut infield, recollected by number 17, Ambrose De Dennis, won back by Manier, and the Blues look to cycle possession through Nico Souza. Souza, the Brazilian infield to Shaw. Shaw dances away from the on-rushing striker. And there is Norris across to Dalton Lewiston. I think you're seeing a shot right there of number 16, Paul Shaw. He is currently in your picture. The young American midfielder has made great waves with the under-18s this year in the FCMC setup, probably capping off his best performance of the year against Real Valladolid's under-17 side with a composed penalty right into the bottom corner to equalize the score at 1-1, and he's only gone up for there. So Paul Shaw certainly one to watch out for, as we see the black team look to possess the ball around the back four. Infield for number 23, Shea Lehigh, into the right side for Albert. Isolated 1 versus 1, but some really good defending there. That's number 6, Nico Souza, this time filling into the left center back role. Him and Lewis seem to be fluid in those positions right now, so it's great to see how they interact together. So, what we will look to do is we will look to isolate certain players. For all the coaches watching out there, I'm sure there's specific needs and specific wants that they will. So I'm not sure. I think we have the live chat up today. So if there is anyone watching any specific positions, let us know and we will get them featured. We will get you all the information you need about them. Because, of course, this right now is a shop window for us. So if you want any of these players, do not hesitate to let us know and we will get them straight into. We're here to find these players the best opportunities they can and the best fit. So kind of going on that, Chris, if you'd hop in right now, what do you think some of these players' objectives should be in this game? Because in showcase matches like this, there's always that balance that needs to be struck between playing for yourself and playing for the team. In your experience, having run trials like this before, what do you think? Put yourself in the player's mind. What would you do?
Well, yeah, it's a tough one because it's like you say, it's like you're playing for yourself, playing for the team. You are selfishly playing for yourself, but you know what? Not everyone's going to like you. So I just think you play your game a little bit. I don't know. I still can't answer that question because I believe you've obviously got to look after yourself first and foremost. Play well, do the simple stuff, have good body language, good touches, and then if someone likes you, it's just going to happen. So I don't know. I'm trying to answer that question, but I'm really struggling. It's because
so we're getting a shot right there of number 2, Jeremiah Sprague. He's been a key member of the under-17s this year. and has really grown in his game. He's still a young one, so available for the 2023-2024 seasons upcoming. So he's got a bit of time before he makes that college commitment. But he's been a very big player so far, as we see the free kick go wide. But Sprague's been a really good player, can play all 4 positions along the back line. Makes him very versatile, which of course in the college game is something that really can't be matched, because you know how many stories you hear of players starting at one position then being moved to another, to another, to another. So he's definitely one to watch out for today. As you see a lovely little touch from Paul Shaw into the left-hand side. Blues, instead of going for that killer pass, seem to be keeping possession. Shaw turns it over there. Chance for the Blacks to break. Here comes Navarra, 1 versus 1. Lewiston with defensive work to do. Navarra cuts to the left. Chance here for the Blacks. Oh, and the shot is rifled in off the left foot and out for a goal kick. First big chance of the game there. Falls for the Blacks, but unfortunately it goes begging off the left foot of Navarra. So we're having another look of that now. Navarro 1 versus 1 on Lewiston. Gets a bit fortunate to get around him, but unfortunately just snatches at the chance. Maybe a bit over exuberant there to make an impression. Fortunately, shot goes wide. Blacks look to press. Lovely little turn out of play there. That's number 15, Mirza Virani. Ultimately loses out. Possession kept through the Irish center back, Egle. Adam Kayat down the right-hand side. All of a sudden, the Blacks now looking a bit more dominant, but the referee whistles for a handball. Taking quickly, back underway. Roops and Morera making the run in front, but a great tackle there from Malcolm wins it away. Chance for a counter. Nice little turn out of play. Shea Lehigh on the ball now. Switch of play. There's that man, Navarra. Dangerous as ever. The aforementioned Sprague low and hard across the box. Great retreating defending there. Number 6, Nico Souza, really making himself a nuisance in the back line. Does great to intercept there out for a corner. So we've got number 15 in the screen right now, Mirza Virani. One of the newer players here at FCMC, normally playing in that number 10 role, seems to have dropped a bit deeper so far today. But Virani really one to watch, especially in the coming years. He's still a young player, but he's got all the technical ability you could ask for. Back to live shots now. Corner comes in, swung in, cleared by Maldonado, followed cleared by Morera. There's that man Virani, looks to hook it. Shot ultimately comes in from the number 20. That is Aitor Rios from Velez, one of the local products. You see his head coach Samar Linares right next to me nodding his approval at the chance. Fortunately, just snatched at it a little bit. Shot's gone over the bar. But now we see the Blacks employing a bit of a high press. Now on your team, we will feature Aitor Rios for a bit. One of the local players in the Francisco Castejon setup, of course, the youth program of Velez Malaga, who I do believe just got promoted into the next level of Spanish football. So a bright future for Aitor, and one very much who we'll have our eye on later in the year. Long ball over the top, just runs too far for number 17. Now we see on the screen, we see Malcolm Fakudze, one of the, again, newer recruits, came in about halfway through this season and has split time between the under-21s and the under-23s, but certainly a player with quality. Loves to get on the ball in those midfield pockets and really tries to pull the strings going forward, and he does have an absolute worldie or two in him as well. So he'll be one that you like to see in those dangerous areas, kind of pick up the play and see what he can find. There is that man, Malcolm, on the ball now, cuts infield for the number 14. That's Sam Robledo. Robledo in behind looking for Sprague. Number 17 just wrong-footed on him, but the ball too far out on the left-hand side. And before we cut to a new player right now, let's see if we can get a bit more information. Chris seems to be having a discussion right now, so we will cut back to a close-up. Mr. Producer, Mrs. Camera people, give me a player.
That's our ball. That's our ball.
So who we got? We've got number 10 on the screen right now, Luke Manier. Believe the Australian right back might have actually played a match earlier today, and from what I saw and what I heard, scored an absolute worldie into the top corner from about 25 yards. So Manier spent time with the under 18s and under 19s this season. Has been a very, very good player. He knows we're talking about him, so he's just looked over at us. but he's doing very well. He's quickly got to get back into retreat right now as the Blacks look to counter. Ball swung into the middle, intercepted by Paul Shaw. Shaw, again, we feel like he's just saying his name so much. He was the first one we featured, and of course he hasn't stopped touching the ball since. There we see Maldonado on the left-hand side. He looks to cut in field. Long ball just squirts through towards the keeper, but a good idea. The advancing run of number 17, Ambrose de Dennis, just a bit too slow. Navarra right now under pressure. Munir with a bit of a glare at him. Love to see that attitude coming from, especially from a player looking to increase and further his career. Long ball over the top from Enrico Egale. Touch gets the wrong side of Dalton Lewiston, but Nico Souza's there to cover. Ball into Vinrani. He'll look to drive forward, chipped over the top. Here's De Dennis on the right-hand side. 1 versus 1, cuts inside. Rubson Morera cuts onto the left foot. Can he get a shot away? Tries to poke it through to Pierce Norris. Goes all the way out wide to Albert Manduku. Norris back on the ball now, the South African midfielder to Munir. Virani. Virani tries to turn away, but Morera can't get the second touch. Recollected by the number 28, Pierce Norris. Possession kept through Nico Souza. Souza infield to Shaw. Shaw turns away from 2, accelerates forward. Great little burst of pace there from the American midfielder. And ultimately cleared away. Referee waves away the protest for a foul. Maldonado now. Big switch of play, looking for that man Munir. First touch takes him away from the defender, but also takes him away from the goal. Possession kept through Lewiston. Norris looks to turn away from Robledo. There's Munir over to Souza. So great spell of possession right now from the Blues. And for those astute tactical viewers out there, it looks like it's about a 4-2-1-3 setup. So possibly a Christmas tree in the middle. But there we see De Dennis look to break it behind, but the referee's arm goes up for an offsides. And while we do have a break in play, let's have a look at Pierce Norris, wearing the number 28 today for the Blues. The South African midfielder, a veteran at this point of FC Malaga City. He is now completing his second year here in Almun in the heart of the Costa del Sol in Spain, and one who's got a great future in front of him. Really young, has been involved with the senior teams this year. So really for Pierce, the sky's the limit. Needs to work a bit on his physicality, maybe get in the gym. A college lifting program would benefit him massively. But Luke, Pierce with all the raw talent you could need. Lovely little turn there from Robledo. Navarra again isolated 1 versus 1. He gets onto that left foot again, and it's cleared off the line by Dalton Lewiston into the waiting arms of Noah Fearnside. Really good retreating defense there from Dalton Lewiston. We'll have another look at it. So Navarra, it has to be said, is having his way with Munir on this near side. Gets away from him, goes for the shot. It beats Fearnside, but a retreating Lewiston there, you can tell him the number 11 center back, so you can definitely pick him out of a crowd. Does brilliantly to drag it off the line into the arms of Fearnside. Another spell of possession from the Blues right now, but the long ball forward from Mirza intercepted. Malcolm will look to go long, but only into the hands of Fearside. And please do remember, if you are interested in any of these players, the contact information is across the bottom of the screen right now. I'm not sure we've got it scrolling, but you will see it up intermittently throughout the day. It's scrolling right now. So please reach out, contact us through those emails and through those phone numbers, because we are more than happy to send any of those players to you. Right now you are getting a shot of the Kiwi himself, number 11, Dalton Lewiston, with the long, flowing brunette hair. We just saw make that goal line clearance. Dalton Lewiston, similarly to Pierce Norris, has spent 2 years here at FC Malaga City. Rumor has it he may be looking to come back for his third, or he may be looking to test his pastures greener elsewhere. But Dalton Lewiston, an absolute warrior of a player. You can never ask for more from a center back. Will give his 100% all day, every day. I've never seen him shrink a tackle as well. So Dalton Lewiston certainly one to keep an eye on. Loads of potential in him. Really, really good player. Blacks looking to keep a bit more possession now. And as we tick towards the first 20 minutes of this match, let's turn it over to Chris. Let's see what he thinks. He's been mostly watching this. You can see with the eyes, just certain people can tell certain things about certain players. Chris, what have you seen so far that's really stood out to you? Any players that you'd like to highlight or any form, shape, system? You tell me. Take it away.
Well, first and foremost, the temperature is pretty high. Well, it's dropping now, which is good. So all these guys, some of these guys have actually played a game earlier on this morning. So like the fitness, you can just tell the difference between players who play full-time and the players who play part-time. So these guys are in a full-time environment. Athletically, a lot of them are there ready for the college system. Some need a little bit of work. Tactically, it's difficult because these are probably a mix of like 5 different teams, would you say? Yeah. So there's like 4 or 5 different teams. We've got a client coming from France who's flown in. So yeah, these guys never met. Some of these guys probably never played with each other before, for the most part. But college coaches are just looking for that one player. They're not looking for like a good team. So we'll just see what happens, and yeah, hopefully. I mean, there's been a few players that have stood out already. A coach might be watching a player and go, he's a good centre midfielder, but he needs a goalkeeper, so it doesn't really matter. So I think everyone's playing well. I think the standard has been probably higher than I thought it'd be, because I thought maybe there'd be tiredness and end of season kind of lag. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, truly diplomatic answer there coming from Chris, but as it should be. A lot of the times you're looking for that one player. It's always difficult in these showcase tournaments to make yourself stand out against what a coach might not need. You may have your dream school, but all of a sudden the coach has 4 center midfielders on his roster and you only play 6 and 8. And the next thing you know, you're looking for the next option. But I always had a saying when I was in my search for colleges as well, you'll always find where you're wanted. Someone will always find you no matter what. And that's just a lot of these things with these kids that they need to keep going forward. And while blue breaks, we have a close-up on number 14, Sam Robledo, I do believe, who has been one of the better players so far for the Blacks, has to be said. A few lovely little turns in the center of the park. And you love to see those skills like that. A lot of things can be taught. Sense and feel for the game really can't be. And Sam seems to have that in spades. He's done really well just to pick up those dangerous little spaces in that gap between the number 6 and the center halves, and has made a few very dangerous turns to long balls in behind for that man Navarra. But Sam Robledo certainly one to watch out for today as the black team look to win a throw-in. Shea Lehigh over to take. Yeah, like Chris was saying before about the weather, the June in the Costa del Sol is not one for the faint of heart, we'll say. Pushing 38 to 40 degrees about every day. Thank goodness there's a bit of cloud cover right now, or else not only the players would be sweating, but I'm sure everyone in the ground might be as well. But it's great to see a bit of the turnout that we've got. A lot of coaches watching here, possibly trying to pick their squads for next year. We have C.D. Almun, head coach, right next to us, possibly scouting out for a few players. But, of course, the most important ones are all the ones at home watching right now, looking for your next star for the program. As a scene that no one likes to see, we see a foul throw on the right side, so we won't bring him onto the screen right now. But, of course, one of those things into the next games that an attention to detail has to be focused. But there we see Pierce Norris on the ball. Luke Manier in space on the right-hand side. Decides instead to go to Dalton Lewiston. Lewiston into the feet of Manier. Manier intercepted by Navarra, out for a throw-in. Manier, the Australian, has Vinray in the middle, but looks to go to Rubson Moreira in space. Does well to get his first touch out of his foot, but the hooked clearance from number 3, Enrico Egle, goes out for a corner. So it sounds like we're playing bingo in the chat right now, just picking out numbers. So it looks like we're going to number 9. Which team are we going to number 9 for? Tell me. We are going for black number 9. Oh, the victim of the foul throw. Who have we got there? We have Adam Kayat on the right-hand side. So a 2003, so certainly one of the younger ones. But he's done well to come into this setup with quite a few older players, and he's really shown himself well so far on the right side. A lot of the blue attack has come down this right-hand side, so him on the right side of the pitch in defense has been doing really well to keep everyone awake and keep everyone away. He's very vocal on the pitch as well, which is something you need to see in a leader across the back line. Robledo on the right-hand side, bonking Nicosi now in a bit of space. The Brazilian Souza against him, infield for that man Robledo. Tries to dance away from Maldonado, drives out confidently, long ball over the top for Murray, looks to be onside here, chance for the Blues to make it 1-0, takes it confidently on the left, good save there by Angel Coca. Brilliant stop there, massive opportunity for Moreira to make it 1-0, and we will see it right now as we break for water, but there's Moreira in behind, lovely little ball through for Rubson. Takes the touch onto the left foot, but his strike cannot beat the well-positioned Angel in the net for the black team. So, with this sweltering heat right now, we break for water. So all the players walking over now, a few bits of advice being given, but a lot of the times the coaches tend to take a backseat role here and really let the players express themselves on the pitch. And while that may not be the case in more of the future games or going into a college program, it's really good to let these players express themselves in moments like this because you just never know what they might be able to pull out of their bag of tricks.
When the team, listen, the objective's got to be to get our full team, listen, look, the objective's got to be to get the full blue team.
And it's rare that you'll find a player all the way out in Spain with a bit of experience in the college recruiting process. While the frequent viewers of the FC Malaga City channel may know that I played my university football in England, I was in the heart of the college recruiting process from my sophomore year of high school, so I know what a lot of these players are going through. Those countless emails to college coaches, all of the emails, all of the messages, the high hopes, the letdowns, and everything in between. The most important thing I'd say is just keep going, that there's going to be something. Chris, you've seen this process take place before. I'm sure you've had success stories, more than I can count, and I'm a footballer, so I can't count too high. But tell me, what's your best advice for a few of these players that may be getting a bit disappointed or a bit discouraged in their recruiting process?
Well, I mean, are they? I mean, are many of these in the college recruitment process now? Yeah. I mean, look, the hardest thing is getting seen. So, like, you could be the best player in the world, but if no one could see you, then it's kind of not worthless. That's the wrong word to use. But the best piece of advice I've got is academics. He's going to open up a lot more opportunities for you. So you could be the best player, but the amount of players that come on my desk every single day, and they've got terrible academics, it's just like, damn it. So first and foremost, control the controllables, which is the academic side of things. The football side of things, you can't be the next Messi and Ronaldo. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. You just keep working on your game. Keep working on your game athletically, like physicality, just get yourself prepared. But yeah, I mean, reaching out to colleges, we've got to go. Oh, no, we don't. We nearly had a goal there, number 20. But I'll come to you in a second.
That is Rubson Moreira there, whose chance just goes begging at the far post. Looked a sure in goal for the Blues, but unfortunately Moreira's final chance just goes begging. But we just wanted to bring you that. Chris, back to you. Let's let you finish your thought.
Thank you. So yeah, basically what I would advise first and foremost for anyone trying to go on the college recruitment process is get assessed by somebody. Like, for example, right in front of me now, James Dawes. He's on the staff. He played in college. In the US, played in 2 different colleges. Ask somebody who knows the levels what sort of level you should be looking at, because most people go like, I want to play in Stanford, I want to go play at UCLA, whatever, which is good. Have ambition, nothing wrong with that. But people spend too much time chasing the wrong sort of opportunities that are not there. Even as you kind of mentioned it earlier, if somebody like a school might have like 4 centre mids next year, and you're a centre mid, and like they're not going to recruit a centre mid, so there's no point even trying to. Oops, there we go. But so it's just about looking at the different sort of variables in this process. So find out first and foremost what level you should be looking at. Obviously, everyone's going to have different opinions, but you're going to come to some sort of conclusion if you ask a few people. Secondly, just like I said before, control the controllables, get your academics good as high as possible. It is what it is, like in terms of like if you can't get all A's, 4.0 GPA, whatever, and then just keep working on your football, on your resume, CVs as we call them in England. Try and look like you're playing at the highest level possible. So if you've got a 16, 17, 18-year-old here playing in and around the senior side here, that's going to look good. We have a lot of players who come to us who play like Dog and Duck FC, whatever, and they're like, yeah, I'm the next Ronaldo or Messi. And yeah, they might be a good player, but because you look on the black and white of the paper, that you think that's not true. might be true, but it's just like that's how the world works, unfortunately. But yeah, I think like I said, just to reiterate, just ask somebody or ask an organisation, whatever you want to do, just find out what sort of level you should be looking at, because that's the best piece of advice.
Absolutely, I think that's a great little piece to hear, especially with that, especially that bit about expectations. Sometimes a lot of these players, we call it visions of grandeur. Sometimes you got that turn of phrase where I would love to go play Pac-12 soccer, but wow, coming out of high school, I was a 5'8" goalkeeper. I really don't think that Stanford was looking at me, regardless of how good I thought I was. So the best thing you can really do is look where you're needed, look where you can fit, because the most important thing is playing. If you get the chance to play, you'll get the chance to be seen. If you're sat on the bench, or if you're not even playing, no one's going to see you. But anecdotes aside, let's get back to some players. We have number 6, Blue, coming up right now as we see the shot fly over the goal. But number 6, the center back, Nico Souza. So we featured his partner, Dalton Lewiston, before. Now we'll bring up the Brazilian, Nico Souza. Has been a great player for the FCMC under-23s this year, but still young in 2002. So still available for colleges. Nico, really, really good player. Can use both feet, very commanding in the air, and he's got that Brazilian flair about him. He loves to find a pass into the midfield, but the best part about Nico is that he knows when to do it. You very rarely see those unnecessary risks. So Souza, one to watch out for. We might see him make a tackle now. Does brilliantly to tackle away from Navarra. Clean as a whistle, Nico Souza, as if on cue. It's like he knew we were talking about him. Brilliant. Take the ball away from Navarra. Now for a throw-in for the black side. In for black's left-hand side, Jeremiah Springfield for Peter Tobin. Tobin looks to turn away, does well to dance away from 2, keeps possession. Egle lines up a shot from range. Ambitious effort, to say the least, from the number 3 Blacks. Possibly saw Luke Manier's goal from earlier in the day. Tried to replicate it. Did not have the same results as the Australian right back. But Fearnside gets us back underway through that man, Souza. Souza into the feet of Maldonado. I don't think we featured him yet. So why don't we stay on him on the far side, because it seems like we're floundering a bit with names. We've got some good memory out here. So on the side, we have for every Korean American who has experience playing in USL 2, but still does have all of his college eligibility. So USL 2 last season before making the jump out to FC Malaga City. So certainly one with experience in senior football, which of course that's one of the biggest jumps from high school or from college into university football, is that jump in physicality. And Maldonado's had training with it, had practice against it. So if you want someone that could possibly fit right into a side without needing to back, Maldonado's a great one to look at. There is that man Maldonado on the ball as he drops it off to Norris. You can get a close-up shot of him. Very strong player, very, very quick too. Got bags of pace. So certainly one to keep an eye on. Any scouts that want an immediate college-ready player, I have to say Maldonado is one of the ones to keep an eye on. Now here comes Pierce Norris, ball in behind for Luke Manier. Can he get on the end of it just a bit too far? A huge chance for Blue there, but the final ball just couldn't find its way to Luke Manier. So one thing that's very important to note, coming to FC Malaga City out here and into this program, 2 things. One, colleges will still see you. We've got countless examples of players coming out here. I think it was Ryan Koshik going to Wake Forest. Or was it Marquette? Excuse me, wrong big Division I college, excuse me. Don't think Ryan will mind too much being linked with first Wake Forest and then Marquette, where he's actually going. But of course, you will still be seen out here. And the second thing to note is you don't lose your eligibility. So if you come out here maybe the year after your high school to take a gap year, get some experience playing senior football in a different country, you can go back to the U.S. and you still have 4 years of your eligibility. And the resume looks even better. Imagine showing up to a college coach, I played 4 years of high school varsity soccer. Great, you and the rest of the world. Or showing up to a college coach, I played 4 years of varsity soccer and a year in Spain. I know who I'd pick. Chris knows who he'd pick. James in front of me knows who he'd pick. I even think the 2 people on the camera know who they'd pick. So that experience is just something that you really can't replicate anywhere else. And the stories, of course, have been countless of players that have gone straight into the NCAA after coming from FC Malaga City. So there's that man Maldonado with the interception, fought back for by Bunky and Kosi. Lovely turn again from Sam Libredo. Seems to be backing up my analysis from before. Emmanuel Navarra on the left-hand side, but just took his eye off it, out for a throw-in. We are now heading we are now looking at Angel Coca Trucois, one of the local Spanish keepers from Vélez Malaga, so a town not too far away from here. Of course, in the Vélez setup, he's been doing very well this season so far. It looks like we have a bit of a block by the pole, but we'll see if we get him. We'll give him a shout-out right now. We have him back with the ball in behind now. The shot comes in just wide as we go back to Angels. Yeah, of course, really good player. He's been one of the standout for the Vélez youth teams for years now, and he's become very highly rated from his head coach over here, Samuel Linares. So certainly one to keep your eye on. Not too sure about the haircut, but he's got everything else working perfectly for him. Dalton Lewiston on the ball now, into the feet of Pierce Norris. Switch of play to Nico Souza. Let's see if I can pick out who we haven't featured yet this half. So I think when we do have a break in play, let's go to black number 5, because we haven't brought him up yet. So black number 5, one of the center backs, that is Diego Campos. And one of the standout performers this year, one of the let's say surprise packages this year, came in very highly rated, but has only proved himself better than anyone could have imagined and better than anyone could have thought. A player with massive potential. And as Chris was saying before on the academic side, speaks 4 languages. You really don't find that in a lot of other places. But Diego, Bolivian and Canadian, with the center back skills to boot. He's done really, really well so far, filling in any position across the back line, and most recently played against FC Barcelona in one of our recent showcase friendlies. Heard him and center back partner Callum Haspel were doing brilliantly together back there. So Diego Campos, one of the massive talents to keep your eye on coming out of FC Malaga City in the coming years. Albert goes down, referee whistles for a free kick. Looks like it's just outside the area, so a dangerous free kick coming in the final few minutes of the first half here in Algarrobo, where we are upset to admit that the sun is now poking back out through the clouds. But we'll see. The heat all happening on the pitch, of course. Let's see who's over. It looks like Albert wants to pick himself up and dust himself off and take the free kick. Now we've got Albert over it right now. Numbers packed in the box. Everyone seems to be man for man. Enrico Engel is in space. Set hangs it up towards Luke Manier. He'll go for the volley. Closed down bravely by Jeremiah Sprague. Absolutely no fear coming in from the left back. Threw himself full tilt into the block and got his reward. Man Campos on the ball now. Great ball into the feet of Emmanuel Navarra. Navarra cuts inside, but can Souza recover? He can. Bounces to the feet of Navarra. Navarra cuts in onto the right. Slips across to Bonky and Kosi. And Kosi now infield for Robledo. Robledo shot tame into the hands of Noah Fearnside. So a nice, smooth, clean break there for the black team. But unfortunately, the shot just comes in a bit tame into the hands of Noah Fearnside. We have Carol Lewison in the chat, blue number 11. Dalton's been here for 2 years, so everyone knows who he is. Dalton Lewison there. What did Carol say? Tell us. Dalton Lewison is Australian, so the commentator might have got one wrong. He doesn't like to admit it very often, but he'll know enough to know when he's wrong. Dalton Lewison, the Australian. Apologies for the New Zealand sometimes. Get him a bit confused. I'm sure, hopefully I don't create any global conflicts for that one. But Lewison's been great so far and been a standout for a few years now at FC Malaga City. Hopefully continues as well. Intercepted by Maldonado. There's number 24, Peter Tobin on it. He'll turn out into the feet of Coca. Over to Egle. Brave playing out of the back from this black side right now, but they do really well to get the ball into the feet of Malcolm. Shaw looks to cut him off. Great body positioning. Malcolm ultimately breaks free. Has a few runners ahead. Chooses to go himself. Turns away from one, turns away from two. Ball in behind, number 20, the shot, and it's in, the first goal of the match. Number 20, Aitor Rios, finds the back of the net, tucks it into the bottom left corner with a no-doubt finish, and it's 1-0 to the black side here. But it has to be said, what great play that was from Malcolm Fakudze in the center of the park. Took it past 2 or 3 players. We'll see Malcolm doing it now. Past 1, past 2, past 3. Great ball slipped in behind for Aitor Rios, who makes no mistake with his finish, tucking it past the on-rushing Noah Fearnside, making it 1-0 here in Algarrobo. We're having a look now at Aitor Rios. Brilliant goal, one of the Velez Malaga products, brought over by Samer to make up a few of the numbers tonight. And there we see Robledo breaking in. It could be 2 in 2 minutes. Robledo with the shot, and it's tucked in as well, just like that. It's 2-0. 2 goals. I'm not even sure if it's 2 minutes. 2 goals in about 30 seconds. This time, Sam Robledo makes no mistake, intercepting a stray back pass, pounces on it, and a great finish into the bottom corner. Fearnside, a spectator, could do absolutely nothing about it, and it's 2-0 to the Blacks. Great finish there from Robledo. Make no mistake, pounces on the error from the Blues and doubles the advantage right on the stroke of halftime. So a quick fire double for the black team right now. Chris, what did you see in any of those goals? Did you see anything that particularly stood out, or just a bit of good play and those mistakes that were capitalized on?
Yeah, we won't talk about any mistakes or anything like that, but definitely some clinical finishing. So obviously, if you're looking for a striker, you're looking for somebody who can score goals. And then yeah, we saw a couple of good goals there. There's been a few chances already this game that should have been put away, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But yeah, people are finding their feet now, get a couple of goals. So hopefully there's a few more goals in this end of this half and in the second half.
Yeah, it's a great point you made there, Chris. I found in my travels through football through 3 countries, there is a lot of strikers in this world that can't score. And I know that does seem like an oxymoron, but a striker that can score, I think everyone who's been around football has seen them, has known they exist. It's one of those ugly sides of football that we don't like to admit to too much. But a striker that can score is always in demand. As we see 2 players down right now after a collision, we are going to number 12 on the black side right now. That is Malcolm Fakudze, who I do believe we already featured, but we'll feature him again, why not? After the brilliant run through the defense to set up the first goal for Aitor Rios. So Malcolm, of course, as we mentioned before, one of the players that came in about midway through the season, but has made a very, very big impact in a short time here, which is really good because sometimes when you're going into college programs, university programs, you can maybe get lost in the shuffle. But Malcolm made sure his presence was known and has been great all of this season. We see Campos driving forward now. Plays away from Tobin. Navarra drives in behind Munir. Chance now to make it 3. Navarra plays across. Bonky and Kosi closing in on the far side. Good play from Maldonado. Some composed defending, we'll say, to drag it away from the onrushing Kosi. Maldonado looks to go long. Chance for Albert to get in behind. Quickly off his line is Angel Coca and does brilliantly to clear just before Albert could get a touch there. Albert Monduku was in behind, but Angel Coca quickly off his line to stifle the opportunity. Dalton Lewiston and Paul Shaw keeping possession. Shaw drives into the midfield now. Has Munir on the right-hand side. Instead chooses inside forward to Dennis, but just a bit of miscommunication there on the right-hand side. But as Chris said before, quite a few of these players have not played together before, and the ones that have played together sparingly. So miscommunications like that are to be expected in matches like this. And now I think we are getting a shot of number 24 black. That is Peter Tobin, who just dropped that ball off to Diego Campos. But there is Peter Tobin, of course, on that FC Barcelona trip just a few weeks ago. and a player with a very, very bright future. He's been with the under-19s all season, and he's really got bags of potential to go along him. Just a no-nonsense midfielder who seems to find those spaces and those gaps and always knows where to play the pass. The one thing you always notice about Tobin is he's always checking his shoulder just to see what's around him. He's a player who's very, very self-aware. He's got great spatial awareness as well on the pitch. So certainly one, if you play a more fluid system, certainly one to have a look at. Blues looking to take more of a foothold in this game. Now Pierce Norris turns away from Malcolm. He plays wide to Albert Munduku. Munduku cuts infield back to Shaw. Now Souza. Final few minutes of the first half now. Referee having a look at his watch. Chooses not to blow yet, but there is 15 seconds left. So the internal clock working just as well as the external. Shaw infield now, turns away from Tobin. Here's Virani. He looks to drive forward, has Moreira in space, does a step over, but a great sliding challenge by Malcolm there. Adds a little bit more on it just for good effect. Let's see if he can turn away from Virani now. Does really well to usher it back to Angel Coca. Blacks now looking just to keep possession for the interval. Enrico Egle into the center of the park for that man, Peter Tobin. Tobin, of course, checked his shoulder before he got it. Tries to turn away. Referee whistles for a foul. Navarra in space on the near side if Tobin can find him. Chooses instead to go short to Campos. Probably the wiser decision with very, very little time before the half. Jeremiah Sprague looking to get in down the left-hand side. Sprague tries to cut back against the number 17. But with that, the referee whistles for half-time. So a hotly contested first half in Algarabo comes to a close with the black team leading 2-0. Goals from Aitor Rios and Sam Labredo, the difference right now. But chances coming for both sides. Blues could have had a few as well, and we will see some changes coming in at halftime. So stay tuned. If you haven't seen anything you like yet, don't you worry. There will be more chances and more players to come on. So we will speak to you in a time ranging between 5 and 15 minutes. But so you don't miss a second, better not to go anywhere. Leave us on your screen. Go have a drink, and we will see you soon.
Malaga City. FC Malaga City.
Obviously here today, the training ground at Sevilla, very, very impressive facilities, and it's a very familiar place to us now. Tell us what it's like to be here for another year and what that means to the players out there.
Yeah, for me this is one of the favourite trips on the stop, so to speak, you know, when we're going around the clubs. And this is, Malaga was the first team we ever played, and Sevilla as well in the first season, so we're lucky now to be able to say that every year since our inauguration in 2013 we've visited this fantastic place. And not only as we're growing as an academy and as a club, I've got to say as well that the things things they're building here and the progressions they're making is for us to learn, to thrive off, and it inspires you to think that if a club of this size keeps thriving for more and looking to do more and be better, you know, that means we've got to do that as an academy as well.
And obviously we've come here today, a very exciting squad under the, the reins of Adrian Dominguez. Tell us how things have evolved over the years now, and to be able to compete and really compete with these teams at the elite level, how does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got the game going on now. We're 1-1, 1-0 up, and I think we've dominated, which to say that, almost 10 years ago would be impossible. We came here and probably went left with our hat in our hands, so to speak, and to see the development and really the kind of caliber of coaches. Adrian's been since day one, a pro licensed coach, a fantastic friend, but also you think in the club the way we're working. Last year he was our senior team coach, won a promotion, blood, sweat and tears, cut and thrust. It was a really intense season. Now this year he's working with the U18s. To bring that kind of experience for someone who's relevant, who's gone and won a promotion in senior football so recently at a semi-professional level, and now bring that down to younger players, I think it's a fantastic way that we're working, rotating the coaches around and making sure they stay fresh, and they also bring new experiences to their players.
And for obviously the lucky players out there today, tell us what you feel they can really take from an experience like this moving forward, and how can that help them in their career?
Yeah, I think for me it's simple that you're now walking into not just Sevilla, which is a Spanish giant, it's a Champions League club. The second you come to the gate, you feel it. It's different than when you go to other clubs. From the security, the professionalism, the way they receive you, the facilities they have. But you're playing against players here that hopefully one day we play in the Champions League. For our boys to see what that looks like, see where they stack up against that, and see if they can compete. I think for me is the best learning, the best experience you can get.
Shay, obviously you've just come off the back of 90 minutes playing against Malaga Academy in Seville. Tell me how that felt and what you're taking away from the experience.
It was good. It was a competitive game. I thought we controlled the game in stages. Second half, they controlled the game a bit more, but it was good to take the things that we've been doing in training into the game and compete with the top side.
And tell us what it's like, obviously being in this facilities, in the environment. This is a Champions League club. How's that been, and how's the experience been as a whole?
It's been a good all-round trip. We had a tour around Sevilla. It was a nice day out, and then come and compete with one of the top sides in Europe. It was good.
And obviously the schedule doesn't stop here next week. You've just got the news that you'll be heading to Celta Vigo to play another top side. Tell us what you can take from this game into the next.
Just the movements that we've been doing. Again, competing with the top side. We've got another top side on next week, middle of the week, I think. A 3-day trip, which will be good. As a team, this is just a start now. We've got to keep going and keep getting positive results against top sides.
Felipe, you've just come back off of a 1-1 draw with Sevilla. Tell us about the performance and what you take away from the game.
I think we started the game really well, building up out the back. We didn't let them play, and we got our first goal. First half ended really well, and second half, unfortunately, we conceded a goal from a corner. But apart from that, I think our team was really good, and I'd like to thank Sevilla for letting us come here and play. But yeah, it was a bit bittersweet. I think we could have taken more home, but I'm happy to play here at Sevilla.
And obviously a huge moment for yourself and for the team as a whole, playing against a Champions League club in Sevilla. Tell us how the build-up to today has been. Were you nervous going into the game, or how did you feel?
I take every game the same way. Of course, Sevilla is a big team, but I try not to be nervous. Of course, a little nervous always helps to build up the game, and the team was very focused. Today we really played as a team, and we showed why we came here and why we should keep playing the way we are.
And obviously this is just the start of a number of high-level games that you'll play throughout the season. Tell us what it feels like to compete on this stage, and your thoughts and expectations for the rest of the year.
I think our team is on a good run. I think next La Liga team we play, or any big team we play, we're going to do even better. Yeah, I just hope we keep going the way we are, and we're going to get more in the future.
Para mí es un honor de poder estar aquí en Balaído, ¿no? Ha sido un estadio que ha hecho muchísimos goles, ha hecho una carrera magnífica. Estaba yo en el Málaga haciendo muchísimos goles, entonces ha tenido una propuesta, ha tenido una conversación con Horacio, con todos los directivos, y para mí fue emocionante porque tú llegar a un equipo como Celta de Vigo, para llegar hay un camino muy grande, hay que trabajar mucho, hay que estar todos los días muy concentrado, disciplina táctica, disciplina en todo. Entonces es muy importante tener, es lo primero. Eso aquí es lo más importante. Lo que el entrenador está explicando lo que tiene que hacer. Entonces yo lo comento siempre a ellos, que hay que aprender. Estamos en una fase de aprendizaje muy grande. La formación de ellos es más importante de la academia. La academia, lo que más interesa, la academia Malaga City, la formación. El objetivo de la academia es formar lo máximo, que no final de año tenemos la certeza que ensinamos a ese chico algo. Eso es más importante. Que él esté feliz. La felicidad de él es la felicidad de la academia.
Demo when you want. Hello and welcome back for the second half here in an ever sunnier Algarrobo right now. Sun making its final stand against the overcast skies of the day as we are ready to kick off the second half of the FC Malaga City SR USA Showcase game. And just like that, the referee gets us underway here in the all-important second half. So a quick recap of the first half while we're at it. The black team is winning 2-0 with goals from Aitor Rios and Sam Robledo making the difference. Although it's not a game that hasn't been without its chances, with the Blues having several clear-cut opportunities, but just not finding that final product. So we are back with you now. And we do have a few substitutions to report, a few position swaps it looks like. So we will get those to you as soon as we have everybody organized and ready. One I can see right in front of me is big Nick Filipovic coming in, but we will get to him momentarily as we see number 15, Bunky Nkosi, try to make a break down the right-hand side. A rueful shake of the head from the head coach. Finds the ball into the feet of Gerson Maldonado. So who have we got on the screen right now? Let's see. We've got 8 black. That is none other than Nick Filipovic, the Canadian right back right now, featured on the screen. Referee blows for a foul in the meantime, but we are having a look at Filipovic. And I'll tell you what, you want someone that will smash your gym S&C records? You're looking at him right there. This man, an absolute animal in the gym. He's giving a wry smile to the camera right now. But Nick Filipovic, great player, great person. Really someone that will always give 100% in everything he does. Really one that you want on your team. Great for the changing room. Great to have around the guys. Really good player as well to boot. So you see him there isolated against Pierce Norris, doing well not to let the South African past him as the Blues look to break forward. And there is that man, Filipovic. What a sliding challenge that was, as if on cue. I pointed to him, bang, Nick, sliding challenge, takes it away from Munir. Throw in for the Blues. Back to live pictures now. Throw in taken, cleared by Filipovic, only as far as Munir. He looks to cut in on the right-hand side. Gets a nutmeg away from Peter Tobin. Intercepted by Malcolm. Fought back for by Shaw. Shaw into the feet of Norris. Pierce now the South African into the feet of Shaw. Norris again. Shaw now, great little drop of the shoulder, turns away into the feet of Nico Souza. Souza now slips in behind for number 24. That's David Oluwai. Cleared away into the feet of Emmanuel Navera. Great defensive play there by Jonathan Kamas. And I think we are going to cut to number 15 right now. So we've got him on the screen, number 15, Bonk Nkosi. One of the newer additions to the FCMC program this year, right winger, 2003 birthday. So still eligible for all 4 years of the NCAA. Certainly one of the players to look out for. He's got pace to burn as well. We've seen him have a few chances in that first half, just a bit, arriving a bit late on the far side, but you can see he's got that eye for goal. Always seems to find himself in the right position to really make an impact at important moments on the pitch. So certainly one to keep an eye on as a shot comes in from Maldonado into the hands of the goalkeeper. Score stays at 2-0, but the Blues are pushing here to have the deficit. So a bit of a lull in play as the Blacks just look to possess around. There's one of the substitutes. That's Essien on the ball on the far side. So we'll give you a shot of him in just a second. But we see number 24. That's David Olai coming forwards. Number 17 cuts inside. Will he have a shot with the left? Tries to play Munir. Where is it going to fall? It's pinball in the box. Ultimately cleared away for a corner. But good play there from number 17, Blue. I think we'll get a close-up shot of him now. That is Ambroise de Dennis. So I think we mentioned him in the first half. Chris was telling us it's one of the players that has worked with SRUSA before. So Ambrose, a known commodity here, at least in the SRUSA books, but was looking to get that exposure to college and university coaches all around the USA. He just took the corner, so that good delivery that you saw as you see him jogging into the middle of the pitch right now, just took the corner. That's Ambrose de Dennis right there. So good service from set piece, obviously, we've seen on a few occasions before. Certainly one to keep an eye on. Had that chance in the first half that was intercepted by the sliding challenge. So certainly one to watch out for. Ante Filipovic in the comments. Always good to hear from the big man, Ante. Nick Filipovic's dad watching all the way. Let's see how good my memory is. I believe he's from Vancouver, Canada. I could be wrong. Canada's a very big place, but I believe Ante from Vancouver watching his son, Nick, take on the best of the best here at FC Malaga City. As we swap over right now, let's change ways a bit. We've just highlighted a striker and a midfielder. Let's go all the way back. The most important position, at least in my humble opinion, on the pitch. We've got Noah Fearnside in the net. The netminder has been great all season. And tell you what, as a goalkeeper here at FC Malaga City, the one thing you get is game time. You get loads of game with all the friendlies and everything that goes on. Fearnside has proven himself an absolute credit to himself and the club this season. It's been fantastic in all aspects. His distribution's improved massively to go along with his hands, which has always been his strong suit. So great to have Noah Fearnside over there. I think you can hear me talking about him. Gives a wry smile to the camera, but he's been great, especially against Real Valladolid. Not sure Ellie remembers up there. He has been fantastic. But a big shout out to Noah Fearnside. Certainly one to watch out for in the coming years. Shot comes in from range into the feet of Angel. We may bring, I think we've got one or two more players to go to. I think right now will be a perfect time to go to number 3, Black, who is celebrating with Noah Fearnside. So let's bring him up. Let's get him on the screen. Give me the shout when he's on, and let's see it. So number 3, Enrico Engle, I believe the Irish center half right now, who we mentioned before, can play all 4 positions around the back line, but it seems to have found a home today at center half. A big, strong defender, especially for his age. He's very, very physically developed, which is something very good heading into the college game. Of course, sometimes, as we mentioned before, that jump in physicality can catch some players out, but Enrico's one player that certainly will not be caught out by the additional physicality. So sometimes the commentator's memory does serve him well. Can't remember what he had for breakfast, but he can remember where the Filipoviches are from. Vancouver, Canada is in the house. So possibly a Whitecaps fan out there, but it's great to have Ante on here with us. And while we have the moment, we're not going to bring in any new players right now because we have someone else very important to introduce. We have yet another of the important players at SR USA. Dan, want to have a go? Want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit.
Yeah, so I'm Dan. I work at the Sports Recruitment USA UK office. I'm basically Chris's right-hand man, really. I do all the work and he gets all the credit for it, really, to be honest with you. So that's pretty much. Don't let him tell you any otherwise. I know he's been on here this first half talking, but he's all lies.
So Dan, I think explaining every employee-boss relationship that's been known since time, does all the work and someone else gets all the credit. So in this case, there's always a bigger fish. But it's great to have Dan on here with us today. Of course, we've got a few of the SR USA staff. We've had Chris and Dan on so far, and I believe there's Joe, who is sitting on the far side, about as far away from the microphone as he can get. The rumor is that he is quite shy, doesn't want to be seen on camera or be heard on the microphone. But we've got 3 of the SR USA staff out here with us right now, watching players like Paul Shaw, who we see on the ball now. Shaw cuts infield, Pierce Norris. Pierce just dwells on it a bit too long. Chance for Robledo to break. Malcolm turns away from one. Tries to get it set up on his right foot. Takes the shot, blocks by Luca Colasso. There's that man, Filipovic, the Vancouverian. Does a step over, plays infield for Enrico Engele. The shot comes in, stood by Fernside. His shot again blazed over the bar. Referee does have his flag up for offsides, but what a play that was there by Nick Filipovic. Brilliant step over to create himself a half a yard of space into the area, but unfortunately Enrico just can't finish it off. So shot coming up now of Aitor Rios, one of the Velez strikers. So another player brought in by Samar Linares for the game today, has taken his opportunity well, tucked to finish very confidently into the bottom corner. We've seen him, of course, eagle-eyed viewers of the FC Malaga City channel will recognize him from a few of the games against Francisco Castellón, where he has made quite numerous additions onto the score sheet there. But a very, very good player, one to keep an eye out for. Long ball in behind, looking for Munir. Intercepted. Picked up now on the left-hand side, number 17, Ambroise de Dennis. Can't get around Filipovic, though. Wins it back. Good competition down the right-hand side. Referee whistles for a throw in for the Blacks. Filipovic taking quickly into the feet of Malcolm. Peter Tobin now driving forward. Well, we have a moment. Let's find, who can we find? Let's find number 16 on black. Have we spotted him on the field yet? Doesn't seem like he's on, so let's see the other number. Oh, we've got the center back to feature. Can't forget that, and that is number 6. That is Essien Favor. So the left back right now, Essien, has come on in for this second half. A very, very big, strong defender who really doesn't mess about. One of those classic, tough, hard as nails, head it, kick it defenders. You'll get full effort from him and an incredible threat on set pieces as well. So Essien certainly wants to keep an eye on. He's got a bit of a sneaky turn of pace as well on him, but he's great on set pieces, really takes command of the box at every opportunity. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have made it through every player on the pitch. Nope, I see one that we have not done, but we will get to him just after this upcoming play for blue. So the last person I see that we have to focus on is number 29, Luca Colasso. Oh, and we've got another for blue, number 4, Jonathan Camas. So 2 along the back line for blue, as we see Dennis take a shot from range there. Harmlessly goes wide. So let's focus on number 4, Jonathan Camas, the blue right back right now. So we've got him in the shot right now, Jonathan Camas. Believe he was the captain of the under-21s this season. So he's done really well, been a great player, really grown into the leadership role, which is something you love to see, especially if you're a college coach. You love to see players take the reins, really develop into what they can become. There's nothing better to see than that. As we watch him do some defensive work now, Robledo drives forward, laid off for Engele, tries to cut inside. And wow, the transitions are just working perfectly right now. Well, They were. Great save from Fairnside. But while we have that, let's stay on 29, the left center back right there, Luca Colasso. Have we got him on the screen? Number 29, Luca Colasso right now, as the commentator has said. So there he is. There's the big man, Swiss center back, number 29, Luca Colasso. I tell you what, this player's got bags of potential in him. Tall for his age, really strong in the air, and you can see how tough he is. He's got a bandage on his right ear right now. Took a knock in one of the games beforehand, but when we asked him today, are you going to play in the final showcase? He goes, I wouldn't miss it for the world. So an absolute desire coming from the center back. Great interception there. Nice little touch out. Shaw clears forward, and here comes Luke Manier. Against advice from the coach to put his foot on it, drives forward confidently, swings it into the box at the second touch. Coach looks like he might want to kick the advertising hoardings right now, chooses not to. But we go back into play now as Sam Robledo drives forward. So while we've got a bit of a break in play, all the players have been mentioned. Dan, put yourself in a college coach's shoes. What are you looking for? Say you need every position on the pitch. What do you look for more than anything?
I guess it just depends on what style of play the coach wants. Obviously, there's a lot of talent on show here today, a lot of different types of players, but I guess obviously after playing 4 years in the college system myself, I know as well as anyone that athleticism, technical ability, all of the above really goes into play when you're talking about college players now. The standard goes up every single year. The sort of ability of players, the background of players gets better and better every year. So yeah, it depends really what you're looking for. But like I said, all these guys out here on the pitch at the minute are really, really impressing me. So all of the above could easily transition into the college game.
Yeah, I think that's a very good answer. It seems that U.S. college soccer seems to be a hybrid of the most athletic and the most technical. There's very rarely just one pure technical player or one pure athlete, because as much as it is terrible to say, the most athletic in the U.S. don't tend to play this kind of football. They tend to head towards basketball or American football. So if you can find that perfect hybrid of physicality, technical ability, and strength, I'll tell you what, you've got a D1 player nailed on right now. So as you see on the bottom of the screen, if any of these players do interest you, please do reach out and contact. We've got an email address and a phone number there. We are available 24/7. There's always the ringer is always on. The email notifications are always loud. So please do reach out and let us know if you've seen any player here today that has piqued your interest. We'd love to give you their contact information, see what the future holds for some of our very, very talented players on display here. Shot comes in from range from number 24. That is David Adusanya. His shot comes in, a member of the Almun under 23s this season. Scored a few really, really key goals in their promotion push. Unfortunately falling at the last hurdle against Ciudad de Basa. Unfortunate there for head coach Juan Mabuye. But through no fault of David Adusanya, who played a very, very good season as a second striker there. Oftentimes making his appearances as a substitute, but did brilliantly when he came on and always had a goal in him. We are now dropping into blue 26. That is Albert over here on the left-hand side. Looks like a substitution's just been made. They seem to have snuck it in underneath us. So let's get his full name up for it. Dalton Lewison on the ball now, but we're on blue 26. So who we got there? That's Albert Manduku, who's been very, very impressive so far in the first half. This is his first few appearances of the second half. He's come on, been creative going down the wing. You can always miss him out. You can never miss him out, excuse me, with the bright green boots. Quickly looking to take on Filipovic down this left-hand side. Will fancy his pace against the Canadian right back. We see Essien on the ball now. Over to Jeremiah Sprague. While we see Essien dancing away from Dalton Lewis in the center back turn striker for right now, we're going over to blue 20, and that is Rubson Moreira. So the Portuguese striker now being highlighted. Just see him stretching down there to reach out his calf, making sure everything's okay so he can continue strong for the next half hour. But Roop's been a really good striker for the under-18s this year. Not afraid to put his body on the line. A true hold-up striker. Has a bit of pace about him, but much would prefer to get his back into the defender and ahead of him, hold up the ball, and allow players to spring off him and play those runs in behind. So certainly a player to keep your eye, especially in the big physicality of the American game. Certainly a player to look out for.
David! Paul, tell him he's got his 2 centre-backs up.
So free kick for the Blues now. Looks like David Adesanya is over it. Could be a left-footed delivery. Tricky for for Angel Coca in the goal right now. Keeper not blessed with the best height. Reminds me somewhat of myself. Let's see what Shaw... Oh, looks like Adesanya has walked away from it. It'll be Shaw over it now. So a right-footed opportunity coming in. Clipped into the center. Lewison. Oh, somehow he's just put it wide, seemingly from point.
Oh, just over the top. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting last 20, 30 minutes of the game.
So coming across the Colossus Colasso, as we call him, cuts it back into the feet of Noah Fearnside. Paul Shaw dances away from number 3 Anglais, draws a few cheers from the crowd. Long ball over the top for Morera, takes the touch away from Campos. Went for almost a Peter Crouch against Manchester City style volley, a big looping up and over. Probably better to say Pajim Kasami versus Crystal Palace, but didn't just come off for Morera. Jonathan Campos, Shaw, and now Lewiston. You can hear Dawes on the screen right now shouting his instructions. Adesanya from range. Tame effort into the hands of Angel Coca. Samuel Linares barking out instructions from the opposing touchline. Both coaches taking this very, very seriously right now. I'm not sure if there's a bit of something being wagered on the inside, but you never be too sure. Great work from Maldonado there to track back behind the ball and nick it away from Filipovic. Ball in behind. Touch over, but the ball makes its way into the hands of Coca. That was Ambrose De Dennis, just couldn't get the final touch on it. Driving forward, number 20, Aitor Rios. Just a bit of miscommunication there with Robledo. Camas can only win it as far as Sprague. Sprague happy to keep his foot on the ball. Tobin to Campos. Campos to Filipovic. Filipovic. Kaihat plays the ball in behind looking for Peter Tobin, but that'll be easily intercepted by Luca Colasso. Colasso into the feet of Souza. Long ball over the top from Colasso, looking for Lewiston. Lewiston finds himself in a bit of space, has De Dennis inside. Maldonado making the run towards the second post. Camas now, he'll whip it in. Looking for the head of Maldonado, raises like a salmon. Drops down to Odesanya. Trying to take it onto his favorite left foot. Good defending from Kayat. Rubson Moreira turns out. Referee whistles for a foul. Free kick from an incredibly dangerous situation coming up from the Blues. And this looks like it could be a Paul Shaw special. So let's see what the Blues can cook up right now. Quite a few players over the ball. This will always spark a bit of an argument. This is where the senior players really need to step up. Take it. Looks like it'll be Rubson Moreira over it. Moreira put his hand up for this one, so he's lumped quite a bit of pressure on himself right now, taking the ball away from a few. Let's see what he can cook up. Here is Moreira over the wall, over the goal, into the car park, and out of the stadium. So Moreira there, chance goes begging for the Blues. Peter Tobin now takes the ball going forward. Adam Kayat in loads of space. It could be a 3 versus 2 right now. Let's see if Tobin can find the right pass. Places the right-hand channel from the number 9, Adam Kayat. Swings the ball, tries to swing the ball, we'll say, into the area. But unfortunately, ball just ran a bit away from him and out for a goal kick. As the referee whistles for a stoppage in play for a water break, we will leave you in blissful silence for a few minutes as we prepare the substitutions.
Malaga City. FC Malaga City.
Best club in the world is FC Malaga City.
FC Malaga City.
And just like that, the water break is over. The players are hydrated, and we are back underway for the final 20 minutes here in Algarrobo. So the players now will empty their tanks. Last final push before we find a winner. So we see Nico Souza on the ball, infield to Paul Shaw. Shaw now turns away from one into the feet of Luca Colasso. Colasso drives forward, looks to play in behind for De Dennis, intercepted by Campos, slips a bit on the pitch, manages to get the ball to Kayat. Maldonado pressing high. He's been a standout performer so far in the second half, Maldonado. Let's see if he can cap his performance over the goal. Shot comes in. Great save from Angel Coca. Bit of a miscommunication there. The Dennis now with the shot. Oh, drags it just to the left of the goal. Question the handball right there. But ball goes wide. We'll have another look at it. Can't see it exactly in front of me. A bit difficult from my angle, but it doesn't look like it was a handball. Referee seemed to allow the advantage anyway as the ball drops favorably to Dennis. The shot came in, but just wide of the target. Now we see Moreira picking it up. Infield to David Adesanya. Into Rubes and Moreira. Now the shot comes in. Great save from Angel Coca in the net for the Blacks. A brilliant performance thus far from the keeper. Doing great. Mentioned before he was going to be one of the best players on the pitch. And Sammer trying to organize his defense desperately right now, using a few less bad words than he did for Malaga City at halftime against Churiana, but seems to be a bit more supportive of the younger kids. But great save by Angel Coca. So Coca on it now for the goal kick. The Blues are pressing ever higher, and this time the keeper will make the decision to go long. So a good tactical mind right there. Sees his team's under pressure, just tries to send it long to Aitor Rios to get it to relieve a bit of the pressure. Moreira now on the ball. Lewiston cuts it inside away from Sprague, gets away from Malcolm, but loses out against Robledo. Draws the foul. Free kick for the Blacks. So we have a comment rolling in. The University of Charleston men's soccer is on the stream right now, complimenting on the setup. It's great to hear that. We really do try to provide our players with the best opportunity to be seen. So it's great that you're watching all the way from the United States. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Hopefully you see a few of the players that are to your liking right now. And you know, I don't think there's a time quite like the present. Let's roll that ticker across if we can with all the contact information that you need to find the player that you are looking for right now. So if we can get that ticker rolling across the bottom of the screen, that would be great. You can contact us with the email address or the phone number through WhatsApp, which would be great. But thank you so, so much for the kind words. And you know what's for us, it's great that you're watching, but for the players, it's even better. So thank you for tuning in to see some of our boys, and hopefully we can see them in your colors in the coming years. So thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thank you for the kind words. It's great to have the support of the U.S. college system out there. So Favor Essien, number 6, we featured before, just made a really, really nice play right there. So the left center back for the Blacks right now has been brilliant so far. He's done really well on the back line. And that's a very, very good play. Got some comments there, got some love for him in the comments. So he's doing really, really well. He's been a rock at the back since he's come on to start the second half. Referee making stoppages right now.
Just tie it now, just tie. Okay. As we see the referee just checking on the wellness of one of our players, Luca Colasso, seems to be all right now. Malcolm picks it back up, cuts inside and away from Shaw. Great step up from Nico Souza, though. The Brazilian having a really, really good game in the center of the park. Colasso now turns away, has fear inside, chooses instead to go to Albert Manduku on the near side. Manduku infield for Odesanya. Has Maldonado ahead of him. Brilliant ball in behind. Can Jerson get a touch? But great positioning there from Angel Coca just to come off his line and smother at the feet of Maldonado. Big switch of play. No, we'll see that replay of that. Great idea in behind on Odesanya with his favorite left foot. Maldonado just a step slow getting there, but Coca quickly off his line. Great turn there from Aitor. Unfortunate for Rios, tried to drive away from the number 24. Albert Manduku will get us back underway through Colasso. Switch of play from Colasso. Shaw continues to Souza.
Shaw, lovely little first-time ball looking for Jonathan Kamas. Sprague did just enough to put him off, but the throw-in goes the way of Kamas and the Blues. Ball defended away, headed back by Kamas into the feet of Souza. Shaw now drives forward. On the ball, switch of play looking for Manduku. Intercepted by Kayat, but Manduku picks up the scraps. Long ball over the top looking for Lewiston. Touched down by Dedenis. Diego Campos now finds himself in a bit of space. Great through ball breaking lines to Adam Kayat. Absolutely turns away from Manduku. Ball slipped in behind for Aito Rios. Can the Spaniard make it his second of the match? Cuts back on Nico Souza. Will he have the shot with the left? Cuts it back. Enrico Ugale cuts away from one. Tries to flick it wide with the right foot, but a brilliant outstretched leg there from Noah Fernside just diverts the effort off target. Brilliant save there from the goalkeeper, who we've mentioned so many times today. Lovely little stop with the left leg to keep it to 2-0. Now another chance for Rios. Cuts infield onto his left. Odesanya fighting hard to win it back. Ultimately breaks away with it, but his pass intercepted by Campos. Campos into the feet of Robledo. Robledo now turns away from Shaw. Fought for by those two in the center of the park. Parr does brilliantly to earn a foul. Looks like there will be a substitution coming up. Albert Manduku comes off, but let's have another look at that stop by Fearnside right now. Some really good incisive play by the black team. But as Egley comes forward with it, you can see that trailing leg by Noah Fearnside just manages to drag it out at the last minute and keep the ball from going into the back of his net. Brilliant save from Noah. Shaw with a great switch play infield for Lewiston. Odesanya. Now Colasso. Colasso into Shaw. You see the great bit of skill there from Paul Shaw. Just confident enough to put on the ball and really slow the game down. Allow the play in front of him to develop. An underrated skill for a holding midfielder to have. Shaw dances away from one, but the pass intercepted by Malcolm. And with a hole big enough to drive a truck through, Malcolm drives forward, taken down by Souza. Referee says nothing doing. Brilliant defending from Nico Souza. Malcolm thinks it was a foul. Souza says nothing doing. Referee agrees with Souza. Great run there from Malcolm, just unlucky. We'll have a look. We'll let you be the judge. Let's see what you think. Seems to be the thought back in the studio seems to say it was a foul. On the pitch, I thought it was a foul. Referee says nothing doing as the shot is lashed in from Luke Manier, parried away by Angel Coca. Ball finds its way to the feet of Jerson Maldonado. Maldonado now looks to cut infield, plays a 1-2 with the Dennis. Maldonado with the strike. Tell you what, caught it well out of the stadium. Goal kick for the black team. So we're looking at the save now from Angel Coca. A bit of a quick shot came in, possibly could have caught him unaware, but he did well to stay strong there, and a very good parry away from the danger area. Final 10 minutes of the match now. Rios plays at the feet of Adam. Adam looks to play forward for Robledo. But Robledo marshaled well by Colasso back to Fernside. Big Swiss center half, Colasso now. Switch of play into the feet of Souza. Nico Souza drives forward, has Maldonado on the left-hand side. Filipovic a bit late getting there, but Angel Coca quickly off his line. Claims into the feet of Tobin. So, if it does appeal to you and you've seen a player you like and you want to see him again, we have another stream with quite a few of these players coming up on Friday against an opponent that I'm sure you all will have heard of. We have one of the PSG youth teams coming on Friday, and the rumor is as well they may be competing against a La Liga team from Spain as well. So if you've seen one of these players and want to see them against a bit of a different competition right now, please tune into the stream on Friday. You will see quite a few of these players taking the pitch against PSG, and then further this weekend with Granada as well. So these players are clearly in the shop window. So please keep your eyes peeled to our social medias, as you will see those times as they are announced, especially with coaches from all over the country watching. Can't do the math that quickly with all the time differences. But please do keep your eyes peeled to the social medias, and we will get that information will be posted just as soon as possible. Foul on Albert Manduku right now. Didn't seem to think it was, but it looked like pretty clear from here. Matches are Friday and Sunday now, so we've even got an extra game added for you. As we see Peter Tobin come forward, slips the ball into Adam Kaihat. Albert Manduku tracking back. Kaihat whips it into the area, but too far again, out for a goal kick. SEN getting some more love comments, some support coming from all over the world for SEN. Been a rock at center half this year. The Blacks, of course, keeping a clean sheet for this match as well as we tick towards the final 5 minutes. Dalton Lewiston on the ball, clipped in behind. Filipovic misjudged it. Chance for Manduku to break forward. Filipovic does well to recover behind the ball. Albert cuts inside. Will try to get the shot away on the right foot. Instead, chooses to play wide to Luke Manier. Luke Manier back in field for Manduku, but he can't get the ball out of his left foot. Chance for Robledo to drive forward now. Peter Tobin has Aitor Rios on the right-hand side. Instead tries to play in Robledo, and now gets it to Enrico Egle. Enrico keeps possession through Tobin, cuts infield. Lovely turn of pace there. Rios now in a bit of space. Can Filipovic have a shot from range? Oh, he goes. Tell you what, he went for a bit of a trivela there, looking to bend it into the back post with the outside of his right foot. Just didn't come off for him. Just inches wide of the near post. We have a comment coming in from Sports Recruiting USA. Good luck to all involved. Absolutely. Best thing to see in a match like this. Doesn't really matter who wins or loses. The scoreline is not too important, but try telling that to a goalkeeper. But overall, the scoreline isn't too important. What's most important is that all of these players showed the best version of themselves to put themselves in that shop window for all to see. Chance for the Blues here to get a goal back. Dalton Lewiston in behind. Dances away from Angel Coca. Looks to turn back in field. Lewiston almost toying with Filipovic right now, but Nick does well to marshal him away from goal. Albert Manduku into the center of the area. The shot comes in from range. What a save from Angel Coca. The follow-up goes wide. And I'll tell you what, Coca has absolutely preserved the lead for the Black team today. This should be a player that is being looked at very, very high levels right now. We'll have another look at that save. Ball coming through body, so good play from Dalton Lewiston. The ball made its way into the box from Manduku, and then the shot came in from close range from DeDennis. And what a save that was from Angel Coca. Just pure reactions in the net. A brilliant stop to keep the score at 2-0. Blues coming forward again now. Here's Adesanya, cuts in on the left foot. The curler, and it does beat Coca this time. David Adesanya makes no mistake with the left foot, and it's 2-1 with 3 minutes to go here in Algarabo, and it's setting up for a grandstand finish. A brilliant finish from Adesanya there. Let's have another look at it right now. There it is. Ali did well to get it infield to the feet of the number 24, who cut inside and made no mistake with the left foot, tucking it into the top corner. And now it's game on. So Blacks with it all to do now. The momentum for all with the Blues. Adesanya comes forward again, slips in Manduku. Can he keep it in play? Does well to keep it in, but the referee says it's run out of play. Goal kick for the Blacks, and a huge let-off for the back line, which seems to be stretched right now. We are into 4 minutes of added time right now. Oh, we're into 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go plus added time, so anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes, anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes remaining. Referee is telling one of the coaches to be quiet right now. Tensions have just ratcheted up a little bit. The competitive spirit coming out in not only the players but the coaches as well. Flicked header from Aitor Rios goes out for a throw-in for the Blues. Into the feet of Noah Fearnside. Rios pressing. Fearnside with a good hooked left-footed clearance. Unlucky from Odesanya, but Manduku wins it back. Has the Dennis in front of him. Malcolm's toe poke gets it back to Campos, who keeps possession from Filipovic. Here comes Filipovic now. Looks to take Lewis in 1-versus-1. Lovely little step over. Ronaldo in his prime. Infield for Aitor Rios. Rios to the Robledo, switches sides to Jeremiah Sprague. Sprague now isolated on the left. Cuts away from one, but Jonathan Camas isn't fooled. Cleared out for a throw-in for the black team. SCN getting more and more love in the comments. One of the more popular players here on the pitch today. Been doing fantastically so far. Let's see if he can hold out for the victory. Jonathan Camas hooked clear. Ali plays infield. Campos will have a shot from range here. What a drive that was. Wow, densely advertising hoarding behind the goal. But unfortunately just wide for him, just wide of the target. But an absolute cannon coming from Diego Campos there. Colasso drives forward now. Doesn't meet a ton of resistance. Albert Manduku turns, has Odesanya running in behind. A slip ball in. Oh, intercepted by Diego Campos. What a read that was from the Canadian center half. Jeremiah Sprague now drives towards the left-hand side. Jonathan Camas working hard to get back behind the ball. Sprague tries to turn away from Camas. Throw in for the black team. Switch of play, Nick Filipovic now on it, swings it into the area. Touch clear by Dalton Lewison, follow clear by Jonathan Camas. Infield, Roasted Dennis with a chance to equalize now. 1-versus-1 against Campos, drives to the left-hand side. Can he get the shot away? The clip shot, what a save from Angel Coca again. To Dennis recollects, numbers in the box. The shot comes in, saved again by Angel Coca. The goalkeeper absolutely bailing out the black team right now. He's been fantastic all day. We'll have another replay of that now, but a brilliant double save from the 16-year-old in net for the black side right now. We're looking at CD Almuñeca's #1 for next season. Two brilliant saves as we head into the last minute. Nick Filipovic dances away from Manduku, does well to draw the foul. Now the Blacks will just look to take the sting out of it. Adam Kaihat over the ball, infield for Aitor Rios. Rios turns away from Shaw, finds himself in a bit of space. Good pressure from Odesanya into the feet of Tobin. Tobin will look for Egle on the far side, over his head to Jeremiah Sprague. Sprague brings it down, can he cut inside and get a shot away? Defended out only as far as a goal kick. Fearnside is going to look to go long right now. Souza's in space, but Fearnside is intent to just hoof it up the pitch. Let's see what Odesanya can do. No one running off him, but the big striker does well. Clipped into the feet of Adam Kaihat as we reach added time. Referee whistles for a third consecutive foul on Manduku. Adam Kaihat, the victim this time, just seems to be down for a little bit. Possibly a bit of tactics being employed right now. Samar Linares never won against time wasting. Really wants to win this. Diego Campos over the ball. Linares telling Campos to put it into the corner. Lewison back easily to Fearnside. Fearnside goes long. Campos wins it back. Adam Kaihat now against Manduku, out for a throw-in. Last few minutes of play now. Dalton Lewison's clearance only as far as the head of Kaihat. Samar just keeping the ball as we see Dawes chasing him down. Eventually the ball gets its way into the hands of Dalton Lewison. Lewison infield to Ali. Good little turn away. Keeps the ball through the feet of Luca Colasso. And Shirley, last chance saloon now. Cut out by Sprague. Munir in space. Camas finds Munir. 1-2 played with Ali. Munir in behind. Can he deliver? Good defending there from SEM, but it's out for a corner. And Dawes waves forward. Fearnside. Oh, but Dawes gets cold feet. Doesn't wave the goalkeeper forward. But it'll be a corner now for Blue. Shirley, last chance saloon. Ali wants to take it. Paul Shaw politely tells him to go away. But Ali will take it. Driven in. The header punch clear. by Anokoka. And with that, the last action of the match as the referee blows the full-time whistle. That brings to end a breathless 2-1 victory for Samar Linares' black team. Goals coming courtesy of Hector Rios and Sam Robledo in the first half. The blue team comes up just short after the goal from David Adesanya. But what a performance, not about the scoreline, as we said before, all about the performances from these players and putting themselves in the window for all these college coaches to see. So from everyone tuning in from all over the world, all over the country, thank you very, very much for all your support. It's great to hear. I'm sure the boys will be delighted to see everyone that tuned in and watched. And from our team here at FC Malaga City and Sports Recruitment USA, we thank you very, very much for tuning in. We love doing this for you, and we're so glad you watched. And in the end, if you see a player you like, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact us. You have all the information you need to contact any one of the staff, and they will get you all the information on any of these players. So thank you very, very much for watching, and until next time, good night.